Before we jump into today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to our channel sponsor, Many Realms. If you're looking for Magic the Gathering and Magic the Gathering related supplies, be sure to check out ManyRealms.com. I'll post a link to their website in the video description, so be sure to go check them out. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and it's time. Today we are going to crack open a collector box of Edge of Eternities. Before we jump into today's video, I do want to say we are rapidly approaching 4,000 subscribers. For those of you out there who are subscribed and watching and commenting, just know that I appreciate the heck out of you. And for those of you who might be tuning in for the first time, if you find yourself to be entertained and find this enjoyable, please consider hitting the subscribe button for me. Okay, so on to business here. So I have to admit, when the roster of Magic sets for 2025 rolled out and like Edge of Eternities is there and it's like, oh, it's a space set. I'm like, okay. It's like, oh, it's like space opera. What's going on here? It's like, what are we doing here? Is there going to be like at least like a Fifth Element crossover? Because I don't know, I could be into that. But needless to say, like I wasn't super excited about the set. And then as we got into the previews and we started seeing the cards from the set, and I was like, well, maybe like this could be kind of cool. There's some really cool stuff going on here. I think the mechanics in the set seem really neat. I'm interested to see how Station is going to play out. We have Warp, and we have, Void. So I think there's some really neat stuff here, some cool synergies. So I gotta say, like, my excitement level for this set is actually far higher than I expected it to be at this point. So I don't know. There's some really cool stuff I want to see. Hopefully we see some of that stuff today. But with that being said, why don't we go and dive on in and let's crack some packs. As is tradition, we're obviously in pre-release week, right? So right now the set hasn't even come out yet. We haven't got to pre-release weekend. And so, you know, we're not going to talk about pricing or anything like that. We can talk about some cool cards, and obviously we can kind of speculate on what treatments might be more valuable and that sort of thing. But we're going to leave out the pricing discussion today. Today is really just about opening, enjoying, and kind of experiencing the product and seeing the pack layouts and hopefully pulling some fun stuff. We know we have Shocklands, and that is a pretty good start for any set. Are these not pull tab? Not pull tab. Great. Okay. It's been a while. Like I feel like we've gotten used to pull tabs. Make up your minds. All right. So art cards, right off the bat, like it's weird because art cards are not in, I think, play boosters anymore. So now they're like, I don't know, one in every few packs of the collector packs, which is a very interesting change. All right. First couple packs here, I'm going to kind of mosey through the commons. Embrace Oblivion. We've got Tannic, Memorial Ensign, Timeline Color, okay. And Specimen Freighter, hit our uncommons. Wedge Light Rammer. And our first of the lands. I do like the basic lands. I think they look cool. If I'm being honest, I think the original Infinity kind of nailed it. Like the Spacix are like some of my favorite land treatments of all time. It's what I use for my draft kit, or the non-foil Spacix, the planet lands. I think those are really cool. But I do think these look good too. I'll be interested to see what our Galaxy foil situation looks like here. I think that's like an average of 1 in 3 packs. So you should average about 3 to 4 of these per box as far as the Galaxy foil treatments are concerned. All right, here we go. First rare is Might Form Harmonizer. And then we have an extended art. Looks like the commander slot, Mox-ite Refinery. And then we have Esteli Reclaimer. Is that the surreal treatment or something? It's not a borderless treatment. And, okay, all right. Eldrazi Temple. So there, oh, that is a Galaxy foil. Interesting. So, like, this is a rare Galaxy foil Eldrazi Temple. I think these are still supposed to be pretty rare, like in the, couple percent. Like I think definitely not, I don't think you're guaranteed to get one of these per box. So getting a Galaxy foil, and I'm trying to show off the foiling there, is I think a pretty big deal. And then we conclude with a Hard Light Containment. It looks to be an extended art foil back there. And there is our art card. I guess these are kind of a big deal now, considering collector product only. So an Eldrazi Temple in the what's it called? I keep wanting to call it the Interstellar treatment. I think it's just called the Stellar treatment. Matthew McConaughey will not be making an appearance in today's video. He's actually sitting behind me somewhere, begging me not to open this box. All right. Here we go. So that's the I really like the stellar treatment, and they have the poster stellars, and I don't know how I feel about. Actually, it's funny. I think I like the stellar treatments more than I like the poster stellars. Cryogen Relic. Actually, I think that's a pretty good common. Drix Fatemaker, Embrace Oblivion again. Harmonious Grove Strider. Dual Sun Adepts. Alpha Rail, Dreaming Acolyte, Seed Ship, Agrarian. And there's another of the basic lands. That time is the Mountain. And not Galaxy Foil. We have a Mythic. Mythic is the Endstone. Pretty cool. So pack foil Mythic. Legendary artifact. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, your life total becomes half your starting life total rounded up. Interesting card. Definitely, I think, going to see some commander play. Interested to see if it can make constructed play, but kind of a sweet card. I will give Edge. I think there's a lot of really unique, cool cards in this set. All right, next up is our commander slot. This is Baloth Prime. 4 for a 10/10, enters with 6 stun counters on it. Whenever you sacrifice a land, create a tap 4/4 beast creature token and tap this creature 4. You may sacrifice a land and gain 2 life. Oh, 4 mana 10/10. Hey, all right. First appearance of our Shocklands. This is, I believe, that Viewport Borderless treatment. It's a non-foil, but it is a breeding pool, and we are fans of Shocklands. So, not upset about that. Next up, we have a Nesting Grounds. That is a non-foil Nesting Ground. So not only not a foil, but not only not a Galaxy Foil, but not an actual foil, Nesting Grounds. And then we conclude with, Extended Art Foil Eternity Elevator. I actually think this card's going to be pretty popular. So, I dig it. Oh, and our token. Golem and copy. What to do. Let's do that. No ideas what these piles will look like, but a very land-heavy set. I'm a fan of real estate, so we'll take all the breeding pools and super cool land things that we can get. All right. These packs are, kind of difficult to open. It's crazy. It takes me back to, the Crimson Vow days, where I'm like, do these things want to open? So we got another art card. Maybe we'll see our first Galaxy Foil basic land. Depressurize, Sky Stinger, Ilvoli Light Jammer, Bright Spear Zealot, Hemosymbic Might, Honored Knight Captain, Memorial Team Leader, Virulent Silencer, and there we go. Cool. Is our first Galaxy Foil basic land. That is a Swamp. And they do look good. I am partial to the planet ones, the SpaceX, but I do think that looks pretty good. Again, trying to kind of showcase that foiling there. Sweet. We have our first of the Galaxy Foil lands. Rare is Light Stall Inquisitor. 1 for a 2/1 seems like a good start. 1 for a 2/1 with no downsides, and then there's actually an upside. It's Vigilance and got some other stuff on it. How far have we come from Savannah Alliance, huh? Crazy. All right. Vernal Fen. So this is part of the land cycle from the commander slot. Next up, Infinite Guideline Station. Wooburg, legendary spacecraft. Probably going to be a pretty popular commander, right? Enters, create a 2/2 tapped robot token creature for each multicolored permanent you control. And station is 12, flying. When it attacks, draw a card for each multicolored permanent. Yeah, I feel like that's definitely going to see some play as a commander, right? Okay. Next up is Creeping Tar Pit, and that is a poster stellar. What is it called? Stellar Sights, right? I think that's what it is. Creeping Tar Pit. Okay, neat. Lots of the manlands there. Ooh, hey, that is a borderless foil Stomping Grounds, though, and I will take that for sure. Very, very nice. Hey, so a second Shockland. I don't love the Viewport thing. I know what they were going for. If I'm being honest, again, not a complaint. I'll take Shocklands all day, every day. But the Viewport treatment or frame, or call it whatever you want, is not my favorite treatment ever. But nevertheless, we don't turn away shocklands. Okay. All right. Start picking things up a little bit here. We'll start flying through the commons and uncommons and get into the juicy stuff. I am curious about that Eldrazi Temple because I think the Galaxy foils are going to be like 2 or 3% there as rares, and then like 1% or less as mythics, I think. All right. Zookeeper Mechan, Lost in Space, same as Curiosity, Divert, Disaster, Mechan Navigator, Meltstrider Resolve, All Fates Scroll, Faller's Faithful. There's the Forest. Forest looks pretty good. I do like that. That is a non-Galaxy foil. We start off with a Warmaker Gunship as the pack foil rare. And again, I am very intrigued by Spacecraft and Station. Curious to see if those are going to have an impact. Our commander card is Evendo Brush Razor. Hey, Thrumming Hive Pool. I have a feeling this card will also be quite popular. As far as I know, I think it's the only sliver card in the set. Like, they just kind of gave like a little bit of a nod to slivers. I don't recall seeing any other actual sliver cards. But Thrumming Hive Pool is going to be a card that people want to buff their decks. That is Power Depot in the non-foil for the Stellar treatment. And then we conclude... Ooh, we got a Mythic back here. What is it? It is a Showcase. I don't even know what you are, because you're written in Japanese and I don't have all the Mythics memorized yet. Awesome. So that is a Japanese foil Showcase. This is probably just a discussion for a different video, but I kind of wish they would just stop doing the Japanese text altogether. Especially when it actually just deliberately impacts the value, where it's like, oh, now this is like a third of the value of the English version. I'm sure this is a cool card. I'd like to know. I will look it up afterwards, but I don't have all the Mythics memorized yet, and I can't read it. So that is a Japanese foil Showcase. Something. Question mark. Definitely a creature. Probably an insect. 4 for a 2/4. I don't remember what the card is offhand. That's driving me crazy too. All right. That was through pack 4. We have pack 5. Honestly, it seems like a solid box so far. I mean, two. I can't be upset about two Shocklands already. Zealous Display, Lux Knight Breacher, Nanoform Sentinel, Germinating Worm, Monoist Circuit Feeder? Question mark. It's an uncommon. Cut Propulsion, Uthros Psionicist, Scout for Survivors, and another island. All right. Non-Galaxy foil. So far, through 5 packs, only 1 Galaxy foil of the Space Basics. Sunset Saboteur as our pack foil. Foiling looks pretty clean on these, by the way. Next up, we have Exploration Brood Ship. Ooh, 1 for a station. You may play an additional land for 3, so it's a spacecraft, blah, blah, blah. Flying once during each of your turns, so once we've stationed 8, you may cast a permanent spell from your graveyard by sacrificing land in addition to spending this other cost. That's kind of cool. All right, neat commander card. Secluded Starforge. Ooh, that is kind of neat. What is it? I can't remember. This is another borderless treatment. There's so many. There's Triumphant, there's Surreal, and I can't remember which is which. But, nevertheless, really cool art. And I think this is kind of a good card. Like, it's just a good multicolor card. I'll be interested to see if this actually can make Constructed. Contested Warzone. Also interesting, sure. And that was our Stellar treatment. Conclude with Beyond the Quiet. I think that's extended art foil. Beyond the Quiet. I'll be honest, I wasn't looking for it. I was looking forward to like not having Sunfall in Standard. So now having another Exile all creatures, like when I saw the card get previewed, I was like, no, please no. Womp womp. There's enough things that Exile. We didn't need another. I kind of wanted there to be a little period of time in Standard where we didn't have a mass removal Exile. All right. Cryo Shatter. Pinnacle Kill Ship. Shattered Wings. Shattered Wings. Every set. Cav, Landseeker, Cobb, Mechan, Assembler, Tragic Trajectory, full bore. Seam Rip, and another non-galaxy foil. Again, I think these are supposed to be like 33% on the galaxy foils or something like that, and we have not experienced that percentage yet, but we have an entire second half of the box also. Pack foil rare is Space-Time Anomaly. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. Not bad. Eumidian Wastewalker as our commander card. Possibility Technician. That's a borderless treatment. And our is a Shambling Vent. So many of the man lands. That's a foil Shambling Vent. And we conclude with a Entropic Battle Cruiser. Oh, it's kind of cool. Not bad. All right. Battle cruising it up. So we are at 2 Mythics and 2 Shocklands through the first half of the box. Let's see. Whoa. See what box the second half of the box brings us. I don't think we haven't seen any Mythics out of the Stellar Treatments, Stellar Sight land slot. And I have a feeling these boxes, a lot of these boxes, the success or failure, if you will, of these boxes will hinge upon how you do in that in those last 2 slots specifically. All right, Hole Carver, Vanishing Light, Flight Deck Coordinator, Drill Too Deep, the Operative again. Uncommons are Rescue Skiff, Meltstrider Eulogist, Void Forged Titan, and Terrapact Intimidator. Hit our land. Hey, it's a Galaxy Foil. So our second Galaxy Foil is an Island. And that actually does look really good, as is usually the case with islands in the beautiful blue. Ooh, we got a Mythic. We got a Sothura. We got a Zathura Super Void. So that's Sothura, I know. The Super Void. This is a legendary enchantment. I think this is like the what do you call it? The not chase card for the set. I can't remember. The highlighted card for the set. Does that sound right? That is in the pack foil Mythic treatment. So we don't dislike that. Not sure where to put where as far as like Mythics are concerned, but I'll throw that on pile number 1. Then we have a Commander Mythic, the Genesis Shepherd, Zarel. So we have a borderless Commander Mythic. Double Mythic pack. Lightstall Inquisitor, this time as the extended art. This takes us to our Stellar Treatment, which is Mystifying Maze. Man, the art on these is killer. That's a non-foil. And a Mythic back here is, oh, cool. It is non-Galaxy foil, but it is a borderless foil, Uthros Titanic Godcore. And this card, I think, is going to be just probably a big commander staple for blue/artifact decks. And this is one of those cards where I'm curious if there is a way to make this more active in a constructed deck. But I think this is going to be a card that people are going to want copies of. Uthros Titanic Godcore. Enters tapped. You can tap it to add a blue, and you station it for 12, and then after you've stationed it for 12, 1 blue mana tap, and you can add 1 blue mana for each artifact you control. That is a pretty cool hit. Not bad at all. Little bird token, little pest token. And, hey, all right. I am pretty cool with that. I'm pretty cool with that. That is definitely, again, maybe the viewport isn't my favorite version of that, but it's still neat. Not unhappy. I'll say it that way. All right. Blooming Stinger, Ore Plate, Pangolin, Flight Deck Coordinator, Galactic, Wayfarer, and the Operative again. Uncommons are Fell Graveship, Mouth of the Storm, Remnant Elemental, Symbic Might again, and another Swamp. This time is a non-Galaxy foil. So I think we have 2 Galaxy foils thus far. For their basic lands. Rare is Starwinder, which is pretty cool. 7 mana, 7/7 Leviathan. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, you may draw that many cards. And Warp of 4. I am a fan of Warp. So for 4 mana, you can basically you can get 7/12 of the way there on a station as well. Not the worst trade-off. Surge Conductor as our commander card. Sledge Class Siege Ship. Station, whenever the spacecraft attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand on the battlefield. Okay, yeah. Can't have too many of those effects, right? All right, and Bonder's Enclave, non-foil stellar sight, and conclude with a Might Form Harmonizer in the was that a borderless foil? I think so. It's kind of cool, and I think this card's actually really good. I think that Warp of 3 makes this card potentially like lethal. Play a Mossborn Hydra on 3, warp this on turn 4, play the Fabled Passage, doubling, and then, well, doubling, and then Fabled Passage, crack the Fabled Passage, double. I don't know. There might be more efficient ways to do it, but it does seem like it's potentially lethal. Is that Nova Hellkite? Sure is. Cool. All right, moving right along. All right, Starbreach Whale, Biosynthetic Burst, Comet Crawler, Auxiliary Boosters, and Nebula Dragon as our commons. Dawnstrike Vanguard, Larval Scoutlander, Spacecraft. I love that this is a planet. I like that they made planets. They look really cool. Survey Mechan, Tractor Beam, and hey, I think it's our first appearance of the planes, and that is a Galaxy Foil version of that as well. Really cool. All right. We pulled 2 Mythics out of this pack foil slot. That's 2 of our 5 Mythics. That's pretty funny. All right, Coral of the Void. This isn't one of them. I was just noting that. Eumedean Hatchery as our commander card. Man, the Mythic. It's another Endstone. We have an extended art Endstone. All right. All right, extended art Endstone. Again, we'll kind of see what this is. But, ooh, we got a Strip Mine. Sweet. So we did hit a Mythic from the Stellar Sights. It is non-foil, but it's a Strip Mine. And I'm a fan, because I'm a monster, of land destruction. So I miss having Strip Mine around. I'm old enough to remember. And, anti-casual Vestige, which is the Eldrazi. I think that card's pretty cool as well. Again, kind of a fan of Warp. So we did hit a Mythic out of that Interstellar Sights. I think the Mythic drop rate is like 4% or something like that for a non-foil. They're all over the place. It's weird. All right. Galeblade, Weftblade Enhancer, Perigree, Beckoner, Sky Stinger, Bright Spear, Zealot as our commons. Steel Swarm Operator, Molecular Modifier, Pulsar Squadron Ace, and Broodguard Elite as our uncommons. Then we got another Forest. Unfortunately, not a Galaxy Foil. Would have liked to have seen one of those there. Rare is the Sarima. Search your library for a legendary creature, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. Pretty cool. Station, when it stations 7, you can tap other legendary creatures you control, become other tapped legendary creatures you control have indestructible. Okay, kind of cool. Maybe more commander oriented. Insight Engine as our commander card. Rust Harvester as a borderless. Ooh, we have a Mythic. It is Mutavault. Oh, and it's Galaxy Foil. Hey, how about that? Well, that seems like a good hit. That is freaking gorgeous. That is a Galaxy Foil Mutavault. Not bad. Not bad at all. I know Gemstone Caverns and Ancient Tomb are going to be the chases as far as like the Mythic Stellar Sights are concerned, but I'm not upset about a Galaxy Foil Mutavault. I think these are like 1% hit rates or something like that. They are really, really rare. So that's really, really cool. And I'm trying to show off the foiling. Hopefully my camera does that some justice. Gosh, that looks so good. And then, ooh, Space-Time Anomaly. That is the borderless foil version of that. We saw that as a pack foil version earlier. But definitely the hit there is that Mutavault. That is really cool. Like, that Space-Time Anomaly looks neat. But Galaxy Foil Mutavault is pretty sick. All right. That does bring us up to 8 Mythics in the box. And I was curious about the Mythic count. Okay, 2 packs left. We'll finish this thing up here. Rig for War, Fungal Colossus, Swarm Color, Graveblade Heavy, Diplomatic Relations as our commons. Honor, Knight Captain, Memorial Team Leader, Virulent Silencer, and Mechan Assembler as our uncommons. Then we hit our Space Land. That is a Plains. So I think we're only still at 2, maybe 3. All right. Mythic. Oh, Adagia Windswept Bastion. So this is the white planet. Enters tapped. Station for 12. Tap 4. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary. Activate only as a sorcery. Not quite Sarah's Sanctum, but still pretty neat. Still pretty neat. Whereas like the blue one is clearly a nod to Tolarian Academy. The green one is clearly a nod to Gaia's Cradle. This one is not quite a nod to Sarah's Sanctum, but it is another Mythic. That is our 9th Mythic of the box. All right, Horizon Explorer. Singularity Rupture. Also kind of a cool card. Stirring Wildwood. That is a poster Stellar Sights foil. These are actually pretty rare as well. The poster versions. What's funny is I think I prefer the regular Stellar Sights version as opposed to the poster Stellar Sights, but here we are. And then we conclude with a, oh my gosh, that is a Watery Grave and a Galaxy foil. Woo! Okay, not bad. Not bad at all. So we got, all right, we have one more pack left, but I feel like the debrief here is going to be worth discussing. That is a Galaxy foil Shockland Watery Grave, and I am thrilled with that. That's the Blue Planet, the other version, where I was like, yeah, I think I kind of like this more than the Viewport version. All right, last pack of the box, but boy, did this box fire it up, huh? Any last pack magic left in this box? This box seems really good. Three Shocklands. Slagstrill Scrapper, Mechanzoa, Swarm Caller, Nanoform Sentinel, Nebula Dragon as our commons. Tapestry Warden, Codecracker Hound, Servandum the Lucent, and Scrounge for Eternity as our uncommons. Galaxy Foil? It is. That is a Galaxy Foil Mountain, so I think that does bring us to either 3 or 4. That is a, let me see if I can show that off here. It's a little tougher. It's a little more subtle, but you can definitely see the Galaxy foiling in there. There's our mountain. Then we hit another Rust Harvester, this time in the pack foil version. Planetary Annihilation as our commander card. Oh, LG Acolyte. Okay, it's kind of cool. I appreciate that treatment. I think that's the Triumphant. I think that's what they're called. Crystal Quarry. That is our Stellar Sights slot. Really cool looking. That's the poster non-foil. And we conclude with a Memorial Vault. Sack another. What do you do? Artifact, sacrifice another artifact. Exile the top cards of the library. X +1's in mana value. Play those cards this turn. That's kind of cool. Extended art foil. All right, but so here we are. This is our first box. This is really my first look at this set. I did check out like one other box opening. I watched the MTG North boys crack open a couple of boxes. But this feels like a pretty strong box. Again, I don't really have a lot of frame of reference, but hitting a Japanese foil showcase, hitting a borderless foil Uthros Titanic Godcore feels really good. Hitting the Galaxy foil Mutavault feels exceptional. Again, a Mythic in that slot seems pretty hard to come by. And then hitting a Galaxy foil Watery Grave to go along with a couple other Shocklands. This feels like a pretty good box, right? Like I can't say that I'm going to be upset with this box. Obviously, we'll see what kind of things shake out, but it feels exceptional. So, boy, all right. Well, Edge of Eternities, I see you, and I am intrigued. I wish you subscribed to your newsletter. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, do me a favor. Again, if you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me, and by all means, drop me some comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody, and be well.